the introduction now because I'm having it separately, but we have opening the session, and we have here Mr. Branislav Bugarski from the province of Vojvodina, national coordinator of DK&P Euro region here, so this is very much to our topic, but I will let Mr. Bugarski continue.
Thank you very much. And I would like also to welcome our colleagues in Ukraine. Good morning, everybody. And good morning to you as well, who are today with us in Novi Sad. We met already on Sunday with some of you, so to speak again from the very scratch, I don't know how smart it is, but basically, let's say I will repeat perhaps at least only some of the points why I believe that cross-border cooperation is of crucial importance for future development, and also for sure what can youth see out of it and what is the importance for our societies. So basically, first of all, to introduce our region, Vojvodina is the northern province of Republic of Serbia, having 21,000 square kilometers, 2 million inhabitants, and peninsula within European Union. Why I'm saying so? Because from on all three sides on all three borders, we have EU countries. On the west it's Croatia, on the north it's Hungary, and on the east it's Romania. So basically we can say we are in European Union, so we entered the European Union. But it is much more important that we really indeed are the part of this central country, a central cultural area, Central European cultural area, and that's why it also makes us easier to establish the cooperation with our neighbors. Having 26 ethnic groups in Vojvodina, speaking 6 official languages in our parliament, it's the starting point for one very successful multicultural, multilingual, multi-ethnic communication and cooperation. And I think those are the competitive advantages. In previous times, the former Yugoslavia had its role in Europe, and but also at that time we have had the cooperation with our neighbors, and this cooperation is not seen as a cooperation between non-EU and EU country. It is seen as a cooperation between neighbors, and due to the fact that this cooperation exists for at least 50 years, for example, in water management, in water quality monitoring, we have the cooperation with Hungary till since, if I'm not wrong, 1956. So there you can see that those relationships are very, very strong ones, and we are simply oriented on each other, because as it was more challenging in Hungary to live than in Serbia or former Yugoslavia. Hungarians came to Serbia to buy things and took them back to Hungary. In the 90s it was vice versa. So we went to Hungary to buy gas for cars, or to buy those most important let's say most important things for everyday lives. What we were able to buy was in Hungary, and those also economic relations are quite in bordering areas especially are very, very, very close. The topic with Croatia is very simple. We were the part of the same country for 50, 60 years, no more, since 1918 to 1919. Okay, let's say almost 75 or 80 years. And during that period of time, for sure, we have had a very close links. Okay, those links were destroyed a bit, or at least damaged during the 90s, but back again, we can see that those, I just had yesterday the delegation coming from Vukovar to Novi Sad, as well from Bački County, from Kečkamet, where we have discussed what will be our cooperation within the next framework 1420 for the cross-border cooperation in all three programs. So what we are trying to do is to synchronize the cooperation between Croatia, Serbia, Serbia-Hungary, and Croatia-Hungary, and we believe that that will be the model how to improve the size of the possible projects, and more to coordinate, to be more efficient, and also then try to lean on some other framework. So if we start some project in typical cross-border cooperation, bilateral cross-border cooperation, that could be also used as a first step for the further development of more projects within the framework of for example, Danube strategy or some transnational program. Where we are today, I can say, of course, having the EU border or being non-EU country is quite challenging position. These challenges, especially seen if we are speaking about free movements of people, goods, ideas, that is where I see the biggest challenges. Due to very rigid EU framework, which I can understand, but though for us in Serbia is quite challenging one, it is making us more harder to speed up the process, because our experience showed, for example, on the border to Romania, where we do not have cross-border points, on both sides of the country, you have the negative economic development. And I think that is the crucial challenge, why your topic is very wisely chosen and why it is so important to increase or to speak about cross-border cooperation also on the outside borders of European Union. So that's why we decided with our Romanian friends to open 3 more border crossing points in central and northern part of the Banat region, in order to improve and to open the free flow of people and ideas, hoping that that will increase and enhance the development, the economic development, above all, of those border municipalities, or municipalities being on the border. Having EU border for sure is also a significant responsibility, because it will always be the question if some asylum people are trying to cross the border outside of the legal framework. And this is where the Republic of Serbia did tremendous steps forwards and tries and is cooperating very closely, especially with Hungarian and Croatian colleagues. But the most challenging border is, of course, towards Hungary, because it is a land border. There we have it is within the Schengen agreement, and when you cross the Hungarian border, there is no more borders within Europe. So this very important challenge, or this let's say responsibility, is very big also on our side to keep the border safe. But also we are trying to keep the border safe on the south of the country, because due to the fact that you have to you are responsible for the asylum seekers whom you have on the northern border. If they are caught in Hungary, they are sent back to Serbia. And now we have the challenge of developing the capacities for those people where we can respond or until their requests for asylum are not solved. We have to keep them in Serbia, and we are facing, that is for us, I have to be frank, quite new. Those are the challenges that we haven't had in previous times. Basically for us is cross-border cooperation the very important point. We do see huge chances for the framework 1420, where we are expecting only through the cooperation with Croatia, Hungary and Romania 85 million euro for our 2 million inhabitants region. And now out of those 85 million, we are able to spend 20, or better to say at least 30% for strategic projects. Those strategic projects would mean in environmental protection. For example, with Hungary, we would like to reconstruct a channel via Bezdan, which enables us to prevent, on a better way to prevent potential floods. Then we are trying also with Hungary and Romania to open new border crossing points, because we think it is of crucial importance for economic development of our region, but also of our neighbors. We are trying then in environmental protection also to develop or to clean some riverbed of the River Bega. And also we are trying, and I think that this is a very, very important but long-term project, we are trying to develop trilateral industrial zone on the triangle of Hungary, Romania, and Serbia. So this triangle industrial area, we believe, will again help to the economic development of our DKMT region. DKMT region is established out of Vojvodina, 2 counties from, this would happen here, on 2 counties, southern countries of Hungary, and 3 counties from Romania, back in 1997. And since then, we have managed to implement a significant number of very successful projects, also financed by European Union or financed by the funds that we had available within the framework of cross-border cooperation. Those projects are for us important because we managed to move certain things in the sense of on the topics of tourism, economy, social policy, crisis management. We have managed to have very good projects with our neighbors. I will give you only one example. Those of Vojvodina and let's say 2 counties, 1 county from Hungary and 1 county from Romania, have bought together the equipment where we can set up a village for 1,500 inhabitants in the case of emergency. So we have then trained the crisis teams, and we have all the needed equipment which can be then, that can react either in Serbia or Hungary or Romania in the case of emergency. And how well it worked was shown also during our floods crisis that we had in May this year, as we have immediately got the support coming from Hungary and Romania, from our neighboring region. So there you see, I mean, to speak about cross-border cooperation in general, it's a most probably interesting thing, but that's not what counts. At the end of the day, what counts is what you're able to deliver through that framework. At the end of the day, you need 2 things basically. One thing is people who are ready to engage themselves and give themselves into cross-border cooperation. So at least you need 2 or 3. And then you need also the powerful institutions, in a sense, that would follow those people. And already there you can see significant results. And the second one, of course, to keep our competitiveness on the world market. Joining in one team, we will be more competitive than as a single player, and that's the second very important goal. So taking those 2 goals, a strategic one, I think it is very closely connected also with cross-border cooperation, because, as I said, as better as you know your neighbors, the smaller the chance is to have conflicts in the future. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Branislav. I think in that one speech there was about all the elements we have been speaking for some 4 days. But at the same, you could also see that how united the ideas are with those people who are working with cross-border cooperation. It's the same problems in different regions and different parts of Europe. But we have here in our group, we have one young participant who is whose origin is in Ukraine and Kharkov, and one senior participant, Mr. Kiriuhin, also from Ukraine, Kharkov. But we have a lot more participants by modern technology. So let's hear use our video bridge, most in at least Ukrainian and Russian language.
Most is also in Serbia.
And here also, yes, most video most. So please, we have a professor and vice rector and also head of the Department of Tourism, which is very often the subject of cross-border cooperation. So Mr. Vladimir Yermashenko, пожалуйста.
Thank you very much. Good day, dear colleagues. We are glad to see you too. Today is a very important event for our university. We are participating in conference. I am sorry. I am official person on conference from our side now, and I won't speak my short speech in Ukraine because we must continue dialogue in English. And my nice colleague Svetlana can help me to translate for you. Maybe? Шановні наші колеги.
Our dear colleagues, we are happy to participate in the Thursday conference.
Тим більше, що вона відбувається напередодні річниці відкриття інформаційного центру Асоціації європейських духовних регіонів в Харкові Національному економічному університеті імені Novi.
First of all, because it is taking place right before the first anniversary of the opening of the information center of AEBR in Kharkiv region.
Від імені керівництва університету я радий привітати вас на цій платформі.
And on behalf of our university, I'm happy to congratulate you and to welcome you at this platform.
Я хотів би ще раз подякувати міністру Мартину Фігермову.
I would like to say another thanks to Mr. Martin Villers
Справді рішучість щодо відкриття такого інформаційного центру.
for his being brave at opening such a center.
Тим більше ви пам'ятаєте, що це відбувалося напередодні не підписання технічним чинником нашої країни європейської угоди.
And as you remember, this happened right before the former representative of Ukraine didn't sign the association with the European Union.
І ми вже бачили, яке ж блокування європейської інтеграції.
And we have already found the blocking which happened to our European integration.
Ми давали собі чітку відповідь
official partner of such European organizations and institutions as European Association of Universities. The representative body to the World Bank in Ukraine. And we are the Information Innovational Center in Kharkiv. And we have an information center to the European. Okay, and we have the information center of the European Union in Kharkiv.
Okay, thank you very much. It's very, very nice to see how, even though we have some difficulties with the technologies, they are still working, and they make possible this our forum, youth forum here to be for some moment a larger one, to have more people joining the discussion. Thank you very much on your views, and I also wish all the best for your efforts. Actually, I have seen already that your efforts are going in a very good direction, and it opens possibilities for young people to be more, maybe not only European, but world citizens. Languages and openness, and inviting also young people to your own region. I also here want to thank Vojvodina region so that we are able to come here, because as we heard that this Vojvodina region is really a crossroad of different nationalities, different languages, and actually itself is a multi. It's impressive to have 6 different languages here.
In Parliament, yes.
In Parliament, only maybe in the villages we will find more, at least dialects. So this is really a place where we would expect cross-border cooperation to happen, and it happens. I'm the chairman of the, Johannes Moise is my name, I'm chairman of the AEBR task force of external borders, and this task force is the first time now in Serbia, and also for me it's the first trip to Serbia, and I'm very happy to see how, even though I can't come to a country where I have never been, I feel like we are in the same family, and this happens very often, especially when we are visiting the AEBR family. We have meetings in different parts of Europe, and also a little bit neighboring countries. Turkey, for example, this happens.
Dear colleague, now we came to Novi Sad. It's a very beautiful city, and the weather is very warm. We are very pleasure to be here, and I think that our big forum, which was organized by European Center for Peace and Development with Association of European Border Region, and supported by 2 Euro-regions, DKMT and Misala. It's a very important event in the process of European integration, because the participants of this forum are the young, and our video conference demonstrates that the integration in the Europe don't know the barriers, and we work in the field of cross-border cooperation without barriers, and I hope that we continue the cooperation, the close cooperation between Vojvodina Krai and our region, Slobozhanщина, in the future more closely, because Kharkov has a key role in the cooperation in the former Soviet space, in the country of the independent Commonwealth, and I think that our experience and your experience in cross-border cooperation after crisis will be very useful for Ukraine, for our colleague, and I hope will prepare for the future many interesting common events and common project. Yesterday I visited the Belgrade State University, one of the oldest university in Europe and the oldest university in Balkan. We continue our cooperation at the scientists between professors, between our faculties, and I hope that the university, Kharkov National University, Economical University named Simon Kuznets, also will have a good relation with the University of Serbia in many fields, tourism, economics, and so thank you very much.
Tasks which are associated with the implementation of participation in the global economy that certainly influences national economic priority. I want to point out that transborder cooperation is an essential constituent of success integration process of Ukraine, which helps our state to cope with different problems such as mutual understanding between countries, as well as restoring the balance of economics situation in different regions of the country. Some words about Kharkiv. Today, Kharkiv is one of the most developed cities, which provides a lot of opportunities for doing business, working in educational sphere, which is the most powerful in Ukraine actually. All these aspects are thanks to the big amount of universities and to the big amount of scientific institutes, which prepare professionals in different areas. In this way, I want to record that average age of citizens in Kharkiv becomes younger and younger. It's formed by the vast amount of students getting education in our universities. That's why Kharkiv is planned to be the capital of the student capital of Ukraine, and had an informal name of smart city all over the world. During the statistic from the last year, we have serious rates of people around the age of 18-22. There were more than 200,000 students in our city. Within 21 of them were foreign. Such a great number of young people from different parts of Ukraine and from foreign countries creates the future employment, and the third one is problem of organizing a living space and entertainment. I also want to point out one of the main crucial components which contribute to develop such integration process. These components are our practical skills and knowledge which we gain during the internship and at the European enterprises in different areas and which determine the cultural values of the European youth. I want to also emphasize on orientation of our educational programs. Also want to emphasize the focus of our students on implementation of their skills which they got from European enterprises to our business environment, or Ukraine business environment. Today the problem of employment is an actual issue among young specialists in our country. And that's why, in my opinion, participation in such educational programs, master degree programs, in such internet conference, in such internet bridges, and developing such transboundary cooperation in order to enhance the contacts between students, between European students and our students, Ukrainian students, to get more competitive advantages at the Ukrainian labor, which requires the new European level of doing business. That's all. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Igor. And the second speech from our side, I want to introduce Ms. Tayana
Member of Commercial Development and Communication with different linguistic and cultural backgrounds. This communication takes place because of contacts between the areas of business, science, education, mass media, entertainment, tourism, but also the cost of innovation. In all these contacts, this communication which means to be as constructive as possible without misunderstandings and conscious breakdowns. Because even decisions in business, politics, education, health, and culture, this usually affects North and nation. The question of whether a communication between people of different nations will affect. Individuals who deal with people from other cultures want to learn how to improve their performance through improving their communication skills. Better knowledge of another culture can lead by the best journalism or a minor mistakes in communication. At the most, such mistakes may confuse or error open the people in which the communicate is. Maybe the conclusion of business skills or international agreements difficult or impossible. Because of joint master degree programs with university, and communication programs by train students to pass internship, trade with European higher education area. It has also development international common comparisons how to speak to the countries. Taking part in government process, the voluntary decision by each country and its higher education community to endorse the principles underlined in the European higher education area. The Bologna policy does not claim to harmonize national education systems, but rather to provide tools to connect them. The intention is to allow the levels of the national system and university to promote and how the European higher education area improve transparency between higher education systems as well as implement tools to facilitate recognition of degrees and academic qualification mobility and exchange between institutions. The reforms are based on 10 simple objectives which governments and institutions are currently